There are over 1 billion combustion engine powered generators in the world that are contributing significantly to carbon emissions. Sebastian, with instagrid, you're on a mission to replace those combustion engine powered generators with a battery powered alternative. How does the instagrid technology work?
So the instagrid technology is really about power conversion. So in the last decade, we have seen the rise of batteries. We were looking at, what else could be powered with batteries, which is powered by combustion engines today. And naturally, all these generators, they caught our attention. The problem here was that the batteries are not the problem, and batteries, speaking about the battery cells, which is really the chemistry behind it. So that has gotten better and better over the last decade.
Yeah, and continues to improve.
It continues to improve by itself, just driven by these enormous industries that are now, consuming batteries. But what really lacked is the right kind of product, as opposed to just the battery cell, the product that would replace a generator. And so we really were seeing in the market that you had these camping devices, usually plastic brands that, things you can take for camping. But those were not suitable for professionals. They were not robust enough, didn't have the power that you need for professional applications, the reliability. And we said, okay, we have to come up with something that will convince people that they can rely on these new batteries just as they can rely on their generator equipment.
One of the challenges with batteries is there's significant upfront capital investment. When you look at the total cost of ownership of the instagrid instant power solution versus the generators that are out there, how does that compare?
We were able to prove, with some peer audiences, that an instagrid solution is about 80% cheaper than operating a generator, which is largely due to the inefficiency of the generator, but it's also because you have a lot of idling involved. So typically people turn it on in the morning when they arrive at the job site, and they turn it off in the evening, just consuming a few kilowatt hours of power every day. Some people just run their radio all day and the generator keeps running.
80% savings is substantial. So is the value proposition you're leading with then the total cost of ownership benefit, or there are so obviously also environmental benefits associated with battery?
Yeah, this is very interesting. So for most of our customers, the economic benefit is by far the one that convinces them, first. It's a B2B solution, so it convinces them that they can run their business cheaper. The environmental benefit, I wouldn't say that it's an afterthought, but we never, bring this as the first argument to our customers.
Governments around the world have a significant shortfall in many emerging markets in terms of a stable electric grid. Larger form factor generators are being used. Is that a future growth opportunity for instagrid?
Usually when our investors ask us, what's the 1 billion market or the 2 billion market, I say, well, that's, the Western markets. When they ask what's the 10 billion market, that's the emerging economies, definitely. If you look in a lot of countries, you will have uninterruptible power supply. Going after every PC, you will have a little, battery behind them. So you already have millions of batteries. People are used to using batteries. They have blackouts every day. And I think this would be the perfect solution. We just, have to make the right product and bring it to the market and learn how to operate there.
So when you talk about professional organizations, the business-to-business application today, what are the types of users of instagrid?
First and foremost, it's the construction industry. But for example, for landscape gardeners, they're also used, they need a lot of power during the day. So they are switching to electric equipment, sometimes state mandated. But also events, media production. So for example, we're the number one solution in Europe today for film sets.
This is a film set in a remote area. You set up an instant power grid.
It's not even a remote area. So if you look, for example, at city centers, it's not like you have a power outlet on every wall. So they need to be set up. The film teams, they have to put the generators hundreds of meters away from the film set because they don't want to have the noise there. The film industry is driven by shorter production times now. You cannot have the set for several days, but you want to shoot everything a single day. So we are actually providing that extra bit of agility, of flexibility to the film crews.
Is one of the differentiators from a combustion engine the profile of the power, the profile of the output from a battery-powered alternative?
Yeah, exactly. So we are really good at providing peak power. So you would require a very big generator actually to offer the amount of peak power that can come out of a very small battery. So the generator is generally good at providing what we call baseload power, just so to keep the lights on, and we can power the high peaks. But at the same time, if you replace the peaks, you don't need the generator anymore. At some point, you find out you don't need it anymore at all, and you can just carry all of the electricity need you have on site. You charge it somewhere else.